Look. This is the look. This is what everyone's going to be doing. Just to show.
They should be, and if they're not, they're way out of date.
So now it's official. Welcome to the show, Finn Jones. Tell me, were you a horror fan before you signed up to this, or did you?
I'm a huge horror fan. I remember when I was like 15, 16, just creeping downstairs and watching Nightmare on Elm Street, watching Scream, I can't even remember now, but all these classic horror movies, like my mum wouldn't let me. And just like, The Evil Dead. I remember when I first watched The Evil Dead when I was like 16 around my friend's house, and we were all just in our sleeping bags, and we just so scared. Like, I love horror movies. But it's a shame because when you grow up, it's much harder to be scared. So I always have so much respect for horror movies that come out and can actually touch that part of you. You know, they can make you feel worried and scared, and yeah.
How scary is Robert Englund in full horror mode?
When he goes for you, he's scary. But in this movie, he's more kind of like slowly psychologically scary. So it's not so much Freddy Krueger, kind of in your face, visceral, but it's more like mind fucking. He's playing that kind of sadistic old man, and I think that touches much darker inner fears than just being a scary guy. So yeah, it's only actually when you watch it back you kind of go, oh, this guy's freaky. And actually in the film, I don't really get to see much of him because he's he projects himself to me through the tannoys, through the screens. So I'm always like, who is this guy? So for me, as the character, it's always the fear of the unknown rather than fear of Robert.
I wanted to ask you lastly about Game of Thrones. Have you been surprised at the reaction you've had since being in it when you've come back over here?
I mean, I'm constantly amazed at how big it's grown, how much passion people have for it. I mean, the show's amazing, and that in itself is mind-blowing to know how they can create such an incredible piece of art. But it's been a slow, gradual thing. I've been doing it for 5 years now, and it's not been like an overnight success, even though it may feel like it has been. It's been very slowly, like it's been kind of, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's always weird, and it's going to continue to get weirder because it's only going to continue to get even bigger because season 5 is amazing. It's definitely the best season so far. And it's difficult because you think, how can Game of Thrones get any more successful, any more amazing? And yet it's going to. And you just think, oh my God, I don't think I can handle this. But it's wonderful. Like I'm so grateful to be a part of something that so many people love. It's so widely watched. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be in a show like this. So it's amazing.
What can you tell us about season 5? You mentioned it. What can you tease us with?
All right. So let me see. This season, after I read it, I mean, there's a lot of what the fuck moments. A lot of your favourite characters, you're just like, I can't believe you're doing this. What are you doing? But overall, it's kind of seeing your favourite beloved characters in situations where they've not been before. There's a lot of transformation. There's a lot of change. And it's really enjoyable to watch that because for the last 4 years, you've seen your characters in certain places in Westeros with certain characters, and now it's kind of all flipped on its head. And you've got this character teaming up with this character and this character in this place, and you're going, wow, this is really cool. Like, I really like that character. And now they're together, like, duking it out, or like, it's a fun season. And I just read episode 10 the other day, and oh my God. I literally threw it across the room. I was just like, you guys are going to freak out. It's amazing.
Game of Thrones, lots of sex and violence. You're in a horror film now. You start feeling like you've got to have a bit of sex and violence or you're just not going to do it?
Yeah, I need sex and I need violence in the contract, otherwise not doing it. I mean, it's just part of storytelling, isn't it? It's a part of everyday lives. Everyone likes to have sex and everyone likes a little bit of excitement, a little bit of violence, get the blood running. So I guess as long as we humans keep on wanting that, then it's always going to be relayed in our storytelling. But it's got to be gratuitous. And I think this film does it well, and I think Game of Thrones is gratuitous. No, isn't gratuitous. No, what am I saying? It shouldn't be gratuitous. I think as soon as movies start to get sex in there just to tick a box, or get violence in there or blood in there just to tick a box, it becomes really just distasteful. And I'm not big into that. I like storytelling with a point. And I think both Game of Thrones and this film does it very intelligently, very artistically, and with style, and it lends itself to the plot development. It's not just there to kind of titillate the audience.